Welcome back, everybody. I'm Matt Williamson from Pop Goes the 60s, and I wanted to do a quick video here just before I break for Thanksgiving, which is in a couple of days. And my job for Thanksgiving in my family is making the pies. So I've got my grandmother's crust recipe, and I'm making 2 apple pies, 2 pumpkin pies, and the wild card this year is rhubarb, because I grow rhubarb and I had plenty in the freezer, so I'm going to do that one. I might even have enough for 2 rhubarb pies. And I might add, oftentimes people add strawberries. I sometimes add blueberries. I got blueberries in the freezer as well. So anyway, that's a nice little cooking tip for you if you ever looking to add something to your rhubarb to make it a little sweeter. Blueberries work just as good as strawberries. Anywho, we are on the eve, roughly, of, at least when I'm recording this video, of the Beatles Anthology being on Disney Plus in multiple episodes. And I got some information from another YouTuber. This is called the Beatles School. Now, this is a Brazilian channel, and my Portuguese isn't so good, so I don't watch it that often, but occasionally I do check in with this guy, and he's very good. And he reported something a couple days ago that was very interesting that maybe some of you have heard of, but I hadn't heard about this, and that is that all the episodes that are going to appear on Disney Plus of the Beatles Anthology will be shortened. So the average length of all the episodes, of each episode 1 through 8, is 74 minutes, average. They're going to reduce it to 55 to 60 minutes each. Now again, this came from the Beatles School YouTube channel, and I believe he got it from somebody in Japan who had knowledge of the airing of the Disney stuff. That's where this came from. We'll know in short order what actually happens. But I thought it was kind of interesting, and I wanted to see how you guys felt about that. It seems like Apple is starting to, give us less or kind of condensing things for us. And in this case, so we're going from the DVD set here, which is, I forget what year this came out. This is 11 hours and 15 minutes approximately. And it's got the 9th episode, which is kind of the behind the scenes. Now, when that was announced to be on Disney Plus also, this 9th episode, a lot of people assumed we were going to get more than what we got on this DVD. Like there's more extras and things. There was a director's cut, a longer cut of this that showed up on YouTube here and there that some people saw. So we all know there's a little bit of extra stuff. But that appears to not be the case, at least based on what I've been finding out in advance here. So it will be going from 11 hours, 15 minutes to potentially 8 hours and 20 minutes at 55 to 60 minutes per episode. Now, how do I feel about that? Well, obviously, there's a huge push to try to get younger people. The generations that are after yours and mine, these are starting to pile up behind us here. And I can see maybe making this more like what aired on PBS when this came out in 1995. I think it was only 6 hours. I don't know if the VHSs were a little longer, but this was clearly the longest. And quite frankly, this would have been for diehard fans. This was not something that would have been broadcast. So I can see them in this particular project shortening those to be maybe more appealing to a wider audience, because we still have this that we can buy. I think that you may recall the Get Back, we had to kind of guilt them into putting this out in some kind of physical form, because there was no intention of Disney Plus to do this, because they said it didn't make them any money. So I can't see their books, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just think they're just not in the physical media business. And when they did eventually do this, it was absolutely bare bones. I think this is the first one that came out and was recalled, I think, or they halted it. And then the next one that came out shortly after, I think might have had some kind of insert here, but I got the bare bones one, which is all I need. But I would say, because Disney Plus is also airing the original Beatles movie Let It Be from 1970, that has never seen a physical release. Now, I think that at this point, they should release everything in a physical format that the Beatles actually released while they were still the Beatles I think that would be a good, you can still stream it. I don't know that would, you gonna move out here? Let me get down. I do stream stuff. It's just sometimes easier. I have the TV on. I can click a few buttons. Boom, there it is. I do like having this though because obviously this is longer and well, things on streaming turn off. There's all kinds of television programs that I watch that I don't get through the whole series and it's now you have to pay extra for it or they remove it entirely. So I don't believe that Disney Plus will forever have this Beatles stuff there as content. I don't know. Things change all the time. And there I think are agreements when this stuff is licensed that have endpoints. So potentially it could get renewed, but potentially it could go away. So anyway, just kind of curious what you think about this. And it is premiering on November 26th. They're showing the first 3 episodes on the 26th, the next 3 the following day, and the final 3 on the 28th, apparently. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I don't even remember if I still have Disney Plus. I remember I bought it twice and canceled it twice. Once because of Get Back, again because of Let It Be. And am I still paying for it and I forgot to cancel it? I don't know, maybe. That's what they're probably hoping for. But I think at this stage, I would probably just watch the DVD. Now, my wife Heather, who was not what you would call a casual Beatle fan even, she was kind of a curious Beatle fan. She loves music, and she was very fascinated with the things I would talk about, and God bless her, she really had to listen to a lot of Beatles stories, so I'd be bouncing ideas off of her and stuff. But when we watched this together, she fell asleep during it. And I can understand why she did. This is for diehard fans. And I'll have to remind people that when this aired on Disney Plus, the same time of year, the Thanksgiving period, back in 2021, was it? This did not make it into the top 10 of the top 10 streaming shows on Disney Plus for that week. So this was by no means, taking streaming by storm at all. So I think that we're going to have to get used to this this dumbed down entry level stuff for Beatle fans that they're trying to snag. They've already got us. So anyway, where it comes to this, I could see where they would offer something shorter. And just like I thought they would also offer a shorter version of this as well, but I think they're just done with this. This will ever get returned to. They're just moving on. Same thing with the Let It Be movie. I think we're kind of out of luck with that as far as coming onto some kind of a Blu-ray or DVD. And then as far as Rubber Soul, if we don't get that in 2026, I think that's a done deal. It'll never come out. So anyway, this is just the new way things are going, I think. And, what do you think about it? Put your answers in the comments below. Love to hear from you. And I'll be back very shortly with another video here on Pop Goes the 60s.